All right, today we're going to go way beyond just your standard morning coffee. We are diving deep into the actual science of cognitive upgrades, how you can systematically and scientifically fuel your brain for absolute peak performance. I mean, just imagine for a second, what if you could upgrade your brain's processing speed just like you would a computer? What would that actually feel like? More focus, learning things faster, having a memory that's just sharper? Well, that's the exact possibility we are going to explore right now. See, there's a really big difference in approach here. Most people, they reach for caffeine just to, survive, to get through the day, to push past that afternoon slump. But a growing number of high performers are using a much more strategic approach with something called nootropics. And it's not just to survive their day, it's to completely dominate it.
So let's get into the science of this, because this isn't about some kind of magic pill, not at all. This is all about biology. We're talking about giving your brain the raw materials it needs for neuroprotection and for something called plasticity. Basically, we're creating the absolute perfect environment for your neurons to thrive.
Okay, now I know what some of you might be thinking. A question that always comes up is this. Is taking a nootropic, is that just a sophisticated way of cheating? Is it some kind of unfair advantage? And you know what? It's a fair question, and it's one we've got to tackle head-on before we go any further. Well, the answer from neurobiology is a pretty clear no. It is not about cheating. It is all about optimization. Think of it this way. You'd give an athlete the right nutrition to repair and build muscle, right? Nootropics are the same idea. They're about giving your brain the specific compounds it needs to function at its absolute best. Now, one of the key players in this whole process is something called BDNF. That stands for brain-derived neurotrophic factor. The easiest way to think of it is like fertilizer for your brain cells. It's a protein that literally encourages the growth of new neurons and protects the ones you've already got. Let's take lion's mane mushroom, for example. It's been shown to help promote the growth of the myelin sheath. That's basically the protective insulation that wraps around your neurons. Now, a healthier sheath means faster, more efficient electrical signals. And the crucial point here is that this isn't just about a short-term boost. This is about protecting your brain's hardware for the long haul. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. The secret to unlocking that peak cognitive performance, well, it usually isn't found in just one single ingredient. It's found in what's called a stack. And a stack is just a combination of compounds that work together synergistically, where the combined effect is way more powerful than any one part on its own. So let's look at the most researched, the most classic stack there is. Caffeine combined with L-theanine. We all know what caffeine alone feels like, right? You get that initial spike of energy, but it's often followed by jitters, a little bit of anxiety, and then, boom, the dreaded 3 p.m. crash. But when you add L-theanine, which is an amino acid you find in green tea, it just smooths out all those rough edges. You get this state of calm, sustained focus, all the benefits of caffeine with none of the downsides. And we have to talk about another crucial building block, omega-3s. Get this, a staggering 60% of the fat in your brain is one specific type called DHA. Why does this matter? Well, because DHA keeps your cell membranes fluid and responsive, which is absolutely essential for lightning-fast communication between neurons. It's literally the foundation of a high-speed brain. Okay, so we've covered the science, the what, but how do you actually apply all this? Let's move from the theory to the practice with an actionable plan you can start using tomorrow morning to properly fuel your brain. Here are 3 simple but really powerful rules. First, the 90-night rule. Wait at least 90 minutes after you wake up before you have any caffeine. This lets your body naturally clear out a sleep pressure compound called adenosine, which totally prevents that afternoon crash. Second, add some mushroom power, like lion's mane or cordyceps, to support neurogenesis. That's the creation of new brain cells. And third, supercharge your hydration. Your brain's electrical signals run on electrolytes, so just a pinch of quality salt and some magnesium in your morning water can make a huge difference in your mental clarity. If you take only one thing away from this explainer, let it be this. These small daily habits, they aren't just about feeling a little better today. They are about taking direct, conscious control over your own cognitive biology. You are literally fueling your future self. And just let that sink in for a moment. That 3-pound organ between your ears is the single most complex and powerful object we know of, period. It's responsible for every single thought, every feeling, and every accomplishment you will ever have in your entire life. So the final question is a simple one. You wouldn't put cheap, low-grade fuel in a supercar, would you?
Of course not. So are you giving the most incredible machine in the known universe the high-octane fuel it truly deserves to perform at its best? The choice, as always, is yours.